Hey everybody, and welcome to this video. This is going to be a transformation video. I've seen a lot of these videos going around and I figured, you know what, let me try that out for myself. I don't really know like how much different it's gonna be than like my tutorials or stuff like that, like trying new makeup. But I guess I'll add in like hair and outfit, that way, you know, you get the full transformation deal, I guess. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I go from this to this. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I did this little date night transformation and what products I used, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so first things first, let's go ahead and switch in to contacts. That way you're not blinded by the light's reflection in these glasses, and I can also see what I'm doing while we do our makeup. So let's do that. So now that we have our contacts in, let's go ahead and get started on the eyes. I am going to start by doing my brows first because I just feel like I just need my brows to frame my eyes before I do my eyeshadow. I don't know, I know a bunch of people do it different, like different orders, but this is just how I do it. So first I'm gonna go in with my Arches and Halo micro defining brow pencil, and this one is in the shade Espresso. And usually I use the shade dark brown, but last time I went to pick up a new one, they were all out, so I went in with this one and I like it. I think it still works. It's just a little bit of a cooler kind of tone than the dark brown. I feel like the dark brown looks a little bit more of like a natural shade on my brows, but I can get away with both since I have like lighter hair like towards the bottom, but then my roots are very dark, so either one kind of works. Alright, so now that I have my brows filled in, I'm going to go in with this Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter, and I'm going to use this to set my brows. And I really like this because I find that it really sets my brows and locks them in place, but it still kind of like defines the hairs and gives it a very natural look. I don't know how to explain it, but I've noticed like since I started using this in my videos and like pictures and stuff, you can really see like the hairs of my brows. I don't know how it does it, but it like defines the hairs as well as holding the brows into place. I really like it. And then lastly for the brows, I'm just going to go ahead and clean them up really quickly using my NYX Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Ginger. That's about as good as my brows are gonna get, so let's go ahead and move on to the eyes. And I'm gonna start off by priming my eyes with the p.lousie makeup base in the shade Rumour 05. Alright, now for eyeshadows, I'm going to be going in with the LA Girl Pro Mastery eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to be starting off with the shade Proper. I'm just going to place it all on my crease from the front to the end. And the look that I'm doing is going to be inspired by Demi Lovato's look that she was wearing during her podcast interview on Ashley Graham's Pretty Big Deal podcast. It's a very nice, like just basic kind of like smoky glam type of look. It's nothing too intense, like it's a very nice daytime appropriate kind of like smoky eye, but I don't know, I couldn't stop staring at it when I was watching her. If you haven't seen that podcast, definitely go check it out. If you guys don't know, I'm a Demi Lovato stan. I love her. Her and Kehlani are like my two favorites, and I just live for everything that they do. So now that we have that color down, now I'm going to take the shade Devotee and do the same thing that we just did, but I'm just bringing it a little bit more into the crease, not blowing it out as much. And again, making sure you're bringing that into the inner corner as well. That's going to give you like the smokiness of this look. And you want to make sure that you're starting off light and building it up. I tried this look before. I actually filmed this look before, and like half of the video had not recorded, so that's why I didn't use that footage. But also, when I was looking back, I noticed like on my first eye, I went in with way too much product and it was a lot harder to blend out. So you just want to take a little bit of product and slowly build up your blend, and that's going to make it look the smoothest and most well blended. So just really take your time with these shades and blend them out nicely. And these shades that I have that are in this palette are a lot more like warm. A lot of these shades are very like on the pinky kind of side, so even the browns kind of had more of like a peachy pinky kind of tone to it. So just be aware of that. If you want more of like a brown smoky eye, you can definitely go in with a more like cooler toned or even like a neutral, but these are definitely very warm shades in this palette specifically. Now I'm gonna take a even more precise brush. This is the Colourpop E19 brush, and I'm gonna take the shade Dapper, and I'm gonna use that to deepen up the crease even more. And this is like a purpley brown kind of shade. More purple, I think, than brown. I'm just going to go in very lightly. Like I said, you're going to go in lightly and build up, because this was the shade especially that I found I went in way too heavy first off, and it was just like very hard to blend out and make it look like a seamless blend. So if you're starting light, you shouldn't have as much of an issue. And you're blending it on the inner and outer corner, almost like you're doing a halo eye, but you're going to be like leaving the lid looking bare. I'm going to put a shadow, but it's going to be like a skin tone shadow, so it's going to look like you just have this smoky like crease work and a very like bare middle part. Alright, so you can totally leave it here. I kind of want to deepen it just a little bit more. So I'm going to go into the Colourpop Bare Necessities palette, which is like the all-time most amazing neutral palette ever. I love this palette. And I'm going to take the shade Taboo and just use it to deepen it just a little bit more. So with this, I'm going to use a very precise brush. This is a Morphe M507, and you want to tap in very lightly. Again, with these deeper colors, you're going to want to slowly build them up, because the deeper the color, a lot quicker it can get out of hand if you go in with way too much product. So the deeper the color, the much lighter you want to start off with and really build it up, because you don't want to get too offhand and just end up where you didn't want to be. So taking that Taboo shade, just really using it to deepen up right through the crease. This is one of my favorite brushes, especially if you had hooded eyes. It just really gets right into the crevices, and it's not like a pencil brush where it's like not gonna help blend. Like it's fluffy enough where it's also gonna help to blend the shadow out. I don't know, this is like one of my favorite brushes. I always use it pretty much in like every look. So you see, just adding that little bit of brown, it gives it a little bit more depth and just a little bit more smokiness to the eyes, but it's not too much, you know? Alright, now I'm going to go in with the Spyglass shade from that Colourpop palette, and I'm going to use this to just smoke out the line on my, basically doing like a smoky liner without the liner. I'm just using this shadow instead. I'm just keeping it right at the lash line. I'm not doing like any wing or anything. It's just going to help when we put the lashes on to blend into the lash line a lot easier. And it's going to give it a little bit more of a smoky effect to the eye as well. I'm just going to place it and then just take a little tiny brush and kind of smoke that out. You can totally skip this step if you want, it's not necessary, but I just find it gives it a little bit more of a smokiness, and then also it just helps when you put on the lashes to blend the lashes easier. Alright, so now I'm just going to clean up the edges of that shadow with a wipe. I'm going to go back into that Pro Mastery palette. I'm going to take the shade Skills and just apply it very lightly to the center of our lid. I might even mix a little bit of Aficionado as well, which is just like a lighter version. To really brighten up. Alright, now I'm going to go and do my lashes really quickly, and I'm just going to be taking these Lashes in a Box lashes. These are the style 31, and I've been obsessed with them ever since I started wearing them. These are like the only lashes I've been wearing for the past couple of weeks, and I can't get enough. So I'm going to put those on really quickly, then we'll come back and move on to the face. Alright, so I am back. Finally, the lashes are on after 20,000 years. So let's move into the face. I'm going to start off by priming using the Wet n Wild Prime Focus Primer Serum. And I'm going to be using this because I need a hydrating serum because the foundation I'm going to be using today is very, very matte. I'm going to be adding a little bit of oil into it just because the last time I used it, it was like way too matte and it almost looks like dry on my skin. So I'm going to be giving a little bit of extra hydration to my skin today, and hopefully that helps. Now I'm just going to go and blur out my pores using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is my favorite primer for this because it just is so smoothing. Alright, so now I'm going to be using this Catrice HD Baking and Setting Loose Powder in the shade Warm Nude, and I'm going to be using a trick that I got from Jackie Ina, and basically she just takes a translucent powder underneath her foundation, and this helps to combat the oils throughout the day. So it's like a little barrier between your skin and the foundation, and I wanted to try it out, so I am. And you're taking a very, very light layer because again, it's underneath your foundation, so you don't want it to be cakey and anything like that. So just very lightly pressing it into the skin in the areas where you tend to get oily, and for me that's definitely my T-zone and right here, like my marionette lines I think is what they're called. Then I'm going to be taking a little bit of a cream bronzer. This is from Wet n Wild in the shade Where's Walnut. Just going to take this very narrow flat top brush and basically kind of doing like the Scott Barnes contouring method, except I don't like how it looks when I do my concealer underneath my foundation. So I'm just going to be doing the contouring. You want to look at yourself in the mirror and just look at where you want to like slim your face basically. So you don't want to just follow what anybody does with their face. You want to look at your face in the mirror and really just see where you kind of want the slimming. So for me, it's like right here in this chunk and then under my jaw as well. Alright, so now we're going to go in with the foundation, and I'm going to be using my Maybelline Superstay foundation, and I'm going to be mixing the shades Golden and Warm Nude, but then I'm also going to be mixing in the LA Girl Pro Color Foundation Mixing Pigment in yellow to give it more of a yellow undertone, because these are just way too neutral. I'm doing like a full pump of Golden, a half a pump of Warm Nude. And this does dry down deeper when it dries, so you definitely want to take that into account as well. I'm just going to mix a little bit of the yellow pigment in, because again, when it dries down deeper, it also kind of changes, oxidizes, and gets a little bit more orangey. So I'm going to try and combat that with this yellow pigment. And then last but not least, I'm just going to put in a little bit of this NYX Hydro Touch Oil Primer to, again, give it a little bit of hydration to the foundation, because it does dry very, very matte and almost like dry on my skin. And also, I've never done this, so this could be a disaster. It could be the greatest thing to happen to this foundation. That is what we are about to find out. Hopefully it doesn't make it break apart. So I'm just going to take my sponge. Ooh, this looks amazing. That oil mixed in makes it so much smoother, and it just really glides into your skin a lot better. Oh my goodness, why have I not done this before? It almost takes away like the heaviness looking feeling from this foundation. Like if you do it on its own, because it is so matte and drying, it almost looks like heavy on your skin, but adding that oil makes it look a lot smoother. Oh my goodness. I'm really like blown away by that combination. Wow. A genius I am. I'm just kidding. I did not come up with that method. Now I'm going to go in with this Kylie concealer in the shade Amber. I've been obsessed with this concealer. I feel like I cannot stop using it. I think the shade is so nice, and the formula is just so smooth and very nice coverage. It's everything. That's definitely crooked. Oop. And oop. Alright, so now I'm going to take this e.l.f. Camo sponge. I love this sponge for concealer. You don't have to use it just for the camo concealer. I'm not the biggest fan of the camo concealer, so I don't really tend to use it very often. But this sponge is everything. It's nice and soft, and I love the shape, especially for under the eyes, because I can really get up into that inner corner. I have really been liking the sponge. You can see I can just really get all up into that inner corner with the sponge. And just blend everything out nicely. So now I'm going to go in with that Catrice Loose Baking and Setting Powder, except now I'm going to take it in the shade Warm Ivory. And I'm going to use this to set the concealer, because that other shade is just way too dark, and it would just darken up all of the lightness that we just brought to our face. So that's why I'm going in with this lighter concealer. You see it just mattifies, but it doesn't take away too much of that brightness under our eyes. Then for the rest of my face, I'm going to take this Sephora Micro Smooth Powder in the shade Tan and apply that to the other areas of my face to set. And this is a Scott Barnes number 64 brush, and I've been loving it for kind of just powdering specific areas. Now let's move on to bronzing, and I'm going to be using this Alamar Cosmetics Brighten and Bronze Complexion Trio in the shade Medium Tan. I love that it comes with that yellow powder in it because, as you guys know, I like to kind of define my bronzer. Why can I not talk? I like to kind of define underneath my bronzer, and I love that it's just right there so I don't have to go into another powder. I love when they have like everything all in one. So I'm going to take my Scott Barnes number 65 brush, and I've only used this once, but I liked it the once that I used it, so I wanted to try it again today. I'm going to take the shade Soltera, which is that middle shade, and use this to bronze my skin. Then I'm going to take a more precise brush and take that Always Summer, which is the deepener shade, and deepen up right here on my cheeks. Just for a little bit more definition right here. Then now going into that I'm Woke Brightener shade, and I'm going to go back in with that Scott Barnes brush. I'm just going to place this right underneath the bronzer. Right there. And bring it all the way up. Just like that. You can even take some down the middle of your face. Alright, and now we're going to move on to the blush, and I'm going to be using this Sephora Collection Trio Face Palette, and this is in the shade Radiate. So first I'm going to take that blush shade and apply that to the cheeks. And it looks like it's not going to show up, but it does come up on my skin tone very lightly. It's like a very nice light, like peachy nude kind of shade. So you see it's just a nice flush of color on the cheeks, nothing too much. And then they have this like very soft kind of highlighter shade, and then they have the more intense highlighter shade here. So the soft one kind of reminds me of like the pure nude highlighters from Essence. It's like that very soft, like natural. And then the like more dramatic one is like a very, not glittery, but it just has more of like a bam effect. It almost reminds me of like the J-Cat Beauty like baked highlighters. So I definitely want to go in with, I'll actually go in with both. So I'll start off with the softer one in the middle, just so you can kind of see like what I mean. Like, it gives a very soft glow to your skin and your cheeks. So you can totally do that for like a very natural, but I want to go in with a bam, so I'm going to go in with that more dramatic one. And watch it just like, can you see? It just brings it up to the next level. I just think that this shade is so pretty. I could not get it, you know? And then last but not least, I'm going to, at least for the face, I'm going to take this Morphe Mattifying Continuous Setting Mist, and I'm going to use that to set my face. Let's go ahead and finish up the eyes real quickly. So going back into that Pro Mastery palette from LA Girl, I'm going to mix the shades Devotee and Dapper and just apply that to my lower lash line. Alright, and then I'm going to take this cream gel liner from Colourpop in the shade Brouhaha and apply that to my waterline. and then just apply a little bit of mascara. I'm going to take this Essence What the Fake Volumizing and Lengthening Mascara. I'm going to use it. Like, it's good for the lower lash lines, but on the top lashes, it doesn't really do too much. But I like it for the lower lashes because it is a little bit of like a drier formula, so it doesn't get too messy when you're applying it down there. And last but not least, let's go into the lips. So I'm going to first start by lining my lips with the Rimmel Cappuccino lip liner. I think I talked about it before, but this is not available in America anymore. Like, the line of liners is, but this shade specifically is not available. So I had to get mine off of Amazon. Then I'm going to go in with this LA Girl lipstick in the shade Nudie. And this is from their new like line of lipsticks. I'm not sure what the line is called, but this packaging is like so nice. Watch it, like magnetizes shut, and it's like it's still plastic, but it's like a little bit weightier than like some plastic tubes. I don't know. I think it's a nice quality, and it's only like $3 or $4. That mattifying setting powder like mattifies everything, so I feel like my highlighter is not doing as much as it was before. Because when you put on that mattifying primer, that mattifying spray, it kind of feels like you're spraying powder onto your face. So if you have very oily skin, I think that's going to be very nice. But I don't like, at the beginning, when I don't have a lot of oils being produced, I don't like when my face looks too matte. Like, I still like to have a natural looking set to my face. So throughout the day, I think that would be so nice, but I just hate the beginning when my face doesn't have much oils produced. So it just, everything just looks so matte, you know? So I'm actually just going to take a little bit of this Glow Mist from Pixi. Just bring a little bit of life back into my face. Like a little bit of glow back. Like, you see, it looks so much better when you have a little bit of a sheen or a glow. Like, I don't like anything too matte until my powders start coming through. Then hit me with the matte all you want. So maybe this might be a better for like a touch-up spray, like once I'm already oily. But I think to set it at the beginning, not the biggest fan, just because I'm not very oily when I first do my makeup, you know what I mean? So yeah, anyways, let's move on to the hair. And my hair is very tangly and just a hot mess, and it needs to be washed. So what I'm gonna do actually is just a go-to like wash day kind of hairstyle when your hair needs to be washed but you don't have time, but you still need it to look like cute. So I'll show you kind of what I do. So first, let's take it down, and you can see the rat's nest that we're working with. Again, like I said, it's just a hot mess. It needs to be washed. It's been in a bun for like the past almost a week, so it's a lot. So first things first, anytime that you're working with your hair when it's curly, at least for me, I always need water. I always need like a spray bottle. So I'm just going to spray my hair down first. It's going to kind of reactivate the curls and then also just give my very dry hair some moisture at the same time. I am actually washing my hair today. I'm doing a video. I'm trying out the new, I don't think it's new. I think some of the products are new in the line, but it's the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk line, and I'm going to be using their styling products and doing like a hair video, so be on the lookout for that if you're interested, if you have curly hair. I'm just wanted to try this line, and so that's what I'm doing. So now what you're going to do is you're going to want to part your hair in the middle preferably, but you know, if you like a side part, if that's your thing, you can do a side part. Then I'm gonna take a brush and brush down the side of my hair over here, brush down the side of my hair over here. And you can leave it like this if you want, but again, because my hair is so tangled and a hot mess, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a low pony in the back. So once you do that, you're going to gather the rest of your hair, smoothing it into the ponytail. Take your time because you don't want to create any lumps back here. Just slowly smoothing it down. This is where my camera stopped recording, so basically I just took my hair tie and put the rest of it in a ponytail, tied it back, and we're good to go. So now let's go ahead and move on to the outfit. Alright guys, so please excuse the mess behind me, but this is the outfit that I went with. I went with like a first date type of vibe. So I just have this black shirt. I got this from Torrid. This cardigan is from Target. The jeans are just black jeans from Old Navy, and then these flats I believe are from Target as well. I want to say, I'm not positive. They're just little pointed toe flats, and yeah, so that's like the vibe that I would go with for like a first date or something like that, and I felt like it matched the makeup really well. So alright guys, so that is the video. This is the final look. I did just go ahead and add some hoops. I'm not sure where they're from. I actually got them as a Christmas present from my best friend a couple years ago, but they're just little like studded hoops, and yeah, I thought they would just kind of finish off the look. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and let me know down below what other videos you guys want to see from me, and if you want to see more transformation videos from me, and if you like the theme of it. Like I figured I would do like a date night theme. We could do like an interview theme, whatever. Just let me know down below in the comments if you're interested and what stuff you guys want to see from me. Definitely give this video a like and subscribe if you guys want to see more content from me, because I do have more content coming very soon for you guys. So thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to watch this video and be here with me on my channel. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you that have been subscribing and wanting to basically be down with me and my content. So I really do appreciate it again, and yeah, hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.